Hello. So today I want to talk to you about the game Fountains from the Op. And this is a game that I have been excited about since it was announced earlier in 2025 and could not wait to get my hands on. So thank you to the Op for sending me this copy. It is a very tactile game where you take on the role of a fountaineer to build the most amazing fountain that will score you the most points. You are going to be collecting tiles along the way to build your fountain. And there's going to be ways that bonus points are triggered during the game, and then there will be final scoring at the end of the game. So let me show you how it works. Every player is going to start with one round fountain with a jet in the middle because a jet keeps water moving, and moving water is water that stays nice and pristine and looks great. If you ever have pieces connected to this that do not have a direct path to a jet, then they get all scummy and gross, and any elements in that pond or in that pool cannot score you any points. So how are we going to build this fountain out? Well, there is a central board. And around this central board, you will have pieces of all different shapes. And they are all going to work together to build your amazing fountain. So there are 3 ponds on the board, and they correspond to a space in their color, and that's where they start out. And then when they move to their color, that's when a bonus will be triggered. So for example, if you move the white pond to the white space, you will get to count up bonus points for 1 color of fish that you have. When you move the blue pond to the blue space, you will do an area majority thing where everyone will count up the number of pools that they have in their fountain, and whoever has the most will score the most points, and so on. And then the green one will score you a bonus for lily pads. So on all of these spaces, if you move a pond to one of them, you get the corresponding top tile to add to your fountain. If you land on this space, again, by choice, then you take one of these bonuses and add it to your fountain, which can help you with scoring. Ponds move the 1, 2, or 3 spaces, and you do not count a spot where someone else or where a pond is. They're not really yours, they're everyone. So if I wanted to move the blue pond, say 2 spaces, I would go 1, and then I would skip this spot because someone is there, and I would go 2, and I would take this tile and add it to my fountain. And this tile, as you can see, has coins, and as long as I'm feeding it to something with a jet, I'm going to instantly get 5 points. Anytime you place one of these tiles with coins, boom, 5 points, as long as it is fed by a jet. So let me move some of this out of the way and show you how some things can work. So if this is my starting, you are going to get the piece that is yours, and it must always touch at least 2 of these dark sections on your pond. So I can't place it offset like this where it only touches 1. I place it so that it touches 2. And this jet connects through that little waterway. So I'm all good. Everything stays flowing so far. No gross, scummy ponds. And then we keep going and we add more features and more tiles throughout the game. So I could place it this way because again, I'm touching 2 of the dark spaces and it can go there. And everything is still nicely fed by jets. I'm getting lily pads, which are going to score me bonus points and different things like that. And then maybe this one would go in here and everything is still fed and I have a lot of jets going on. But it would be really boring if we were just building out and nothing exciting was happening. So in this game, you can also build up. And when you build up, you can do it in a couple of ways. You can actually cover an entire tile if you wanted to build up. You can just totally cover up one tile, or you can cover up a part of a tile, still with remembering your placement rules. So maybe I want to place this one like this. Now I did cover up a jet, so that could have been bad because it could have cut off water flow to some of these others, but there's a jet right here and gravity works and flows down. Obviously, lower jets cannot pump up to a higher pool. Higher pools must have jets. But the interesting thing about that is now when I score my lily pads, this lily pad is on level 2, so it will score me 2 points instead of 1. So you're constantly building up. And now, as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3 pools instead of just the one that was right there. So if we were counting pools right now, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So by building up and placing things on top, I'm getting higher benefits for my lily pads, and I'm getting more pools, which is also going to help me score that way. Some of the other things you could do is, let's see. So this is cool because it has 2 jets on it. I would get some points for coins right there. And then maybe I want to put in another circle. Let's see. Ooh, let's pretend I did that way because it only has water flowing off that side. Once you place something though, it is placed and you cannot move it. So let's say I did that, and yep, everything's still good. Everything has water flow. Now I could come in with this piece and look at all those pools I just made. But I have no jet right there. So this one would then become filled with pond rot or pond scum, and it would affect all of these pools. It would not affect this one because it has water flow. So you can see where that would be a very risky thing to do because I don't have a jet that would be feeding it. Now, if there was a different tile like this one that has a jet, then we're all good because it's still being fed and nothing gets all scummy and gross. So there's a lot going on. You're moving your pawns around the board. And then once you have some tiles that are depleted, that's going to trigger the end of the game and everyone will get an equal number of turns. The other thing is when you are placing tiles on higher levels, there cannot be any overhang. So I cannot place something in a way that a piece of it is overhanging. So that's the other thing. So this game is great because it's tactile, you're building, you're trying to maximize your bonuses. And because none of these are actually your pawn on the board, everybody's moving them in a way that you don't always know what will be available or who is going to trigger what bonuses when. So you have to be tactical and flexible in your thinking. So I think this is a really fun game. The solo mode is enjoyable because you get to build your area out. It's something that I've loved in a lot of games this year, or I'm just getting to create something really cool with the game. So that is Fountains from the Op. I would love to know, have you played it? What do you think of it? Give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.